Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to be back. Lovely to be back.
Watching that replay.
Yeah,
That was some driving down the stretch.
yeah, he was quite impressive, you know.
Yeah. What happened in his last race?
He was fourth. He ran well.
I mean, it was a good race.
It was a good race, but like he was drawn on the outside, and he was just on. It was a straight course race, but he was on the wing a little bit. So I think today suited him much better, you know.
Yeah, you never know, I guess, really, when they're going to two turns over here, or the one turn, how they're going to negotiate
He really enjoyed it
Yeah.
coming off the turn,
It
you
looked
know.
like it.
Yeah.
He hugged that rail.
He did, yeah, he did.
Now, who is it representing Godolphin? Who was that, Hugh Anderson?
Yeah. Can we?
I'll send the.
Put you in the middle, and then Charlie when he gets here. Is Charlie behind you?
Yeah.
Near?
Which chair do you want me in, Jill?
You can just sit in the middle, and then Charlie can just jump in when he
You
gets
enjoying
here.
this?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Well done.
It's good.
Feel
Very good.
free to take water
What
with
did you
you.
think after 2 furlongs?
Well, I expected him to be at pace, not quite, not quite like that though. But anyway, he finished off well.
And it wasn't straightforward, was it? I mean, you had to.
Yeah, but I always had the run.
Did you?
I could always like, see it there, you know, and I knew once he got clear, he'd pick up. Keep kicking, keep kicking.
Sounds noisy out there, so they must be
Yeah.
close.
Jill. Is that Jill?
Tell me when you're ready. Super low audio. Check 1, 2. Tell me when you're ready to go.
You ready?
Check 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
go.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go. Just try to get a little more.
Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint now in the books, and welcoming very familiar connections here. Charlie Appleby, trainer, and Hugh Anderson, CEO Godolphin, William Buick, jockey. And William, I'll start with you with Mischief Magic. We were just talking quickly, you know, before we started here. What a great trip, really, everything. But down the stretch, you kind of had to negotiate some traffic. Sort of take us from the beginning.
Yeah, he's a closer in the UK, so we expected him to come from off the pace, and we expected it to be pace on in the race. So, you know, look, he just got a little bit lost and took a bit of time to get into things the first furlong or furlong and a half. And, you know, once I switched him in around the turn, you know, he was always travelling nice, and I was following the English filly, Dramatized, and it sort of opened up just as we turned into the straight on the inside, and I had to switch out and just pick my run, but he was always full of running, and it was really only a matter of getting the split and for him to finish off. It was a great performance, and I think coming off the turn today really set him alight. You know, it really woke him up, and you know, when he switched leads, he just flew.
And that's usually a question with the Europeans that come over in these sprint races, because they do have to negotiate a turn usually for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always easier when you're on the rail. You know, you just ride the bend a little bit better. But he's a very straightforward horse, and he's raced a few times. So, but he once he got in there, he was very, very tough.
And Hugh, another brilliant homebred for Godolphin, and a stakes record, by the way, for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. So just tell us a little bit about Mischief Magic, and of course, you know, the incredible success Godolphin worldwide, but here at the Breeders' Cup in specific.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, firstly, I've got the champion jockey on my right-hand side, and I've got the champion trainer on my left-hand side. And, you know, Godolphin is so fortunate to have people of this calibre. But you're right, this is a homebred, which makes it a really special win for us. And the season has been exceptionally good in the UK, Europe, America, Australia. We're having a wonderful year. These two have played a huge part in it. We're all very, very proud. And I'm sure back in Dubai, this is being watched with enormous satisfaction and enormous pride by our principal.
And Charlie, with Mischief Magic, we talked about pointing him to this race. I was talking to William about the turn for him coming over here. Did you ever have any questions coming out of that last race in the Middle Park about bringing him over for this race?
Not really. It was going into the Middle Park. We always had it in our minds that it was going to be a sort of a stepping stone onto this race, and we were very pleased with what we saw in the Middle Park. He was pitching it with some of the best sprinters around in the UK. Coming into the day, William sort of read the race in the paddock that they were going to go hard, and obviously the plan was to try and potentially try and be a bit closer, but they were going that quick early doors that William was happy to just let his horse find his legs, and as William quite rightly said there earlier, once you get him on the turn, get him on the rail, you can ride the rail. It just makes life a bit easier. And look, fantastic ride by William and a very willing horse. And as you quite rightly said, it's just been a fantastic season. And for the homebred as well, it's just great for the team. And most importantly, for our principal and Team Godolphin.
And what's next for Mischief Magic?
No immediate plans. Obviously, he'll have the winter off now, but he's got the scope to hopefully develop from 2 to 3 well, and so therefore, he's put himself probably in the picture as a Commonwealth horse back at Royal Ascot, and so we'll work back from that, one would imagine.
All right, I will turn it over. Any questions from anybody here? Laura, here.
William,
Just introduce yourself.
Laura King from World Horse Racing. William, champion jockey, second baby, now a Breeders' Cup win. Good week, good couple of weeks.
Yeah. No, it's been good, thank you. It's been a good year, obviously, and it's in my personal life, it's been great. But it's I always say, I'm very fortunate to come to these big meetings and ride these great horses. So we've got a few races left to go.
Yeah.
Anyone else in here? And doesn't look like we have any questions coming down from the press box. So just quickly, and congratulations to all of you, and especially your champion season, and now 7 wins the Breeder Cup. Best of luck going forward.
Very kind.
I think so. I was a little worried.
Oh, man.
Because she wasn't running it.
No,
She was
well,
throwing her head up in the air.
I was trying to, because I was outside of Ramon Vasquez, and he kept wanting to get out, and he started taking me to the four pathos, and I didn't want to lose that much ground.
Yeah.
Now the backside, I was behind a horse that I did not want to be behind. But
What's that?
I said going into the far turn, I was behind a horse I didn't want to be behind, but
Yeah.
he kept moving out.
Well, she was really running around the turn.
Oh, man. And down the lane, she just got going. That's all on her own.
I told you, I thought she was a better horse
Yeah.
this time than. I could see a big difference in her,
That's her.
you know.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with the winners here with Wonder Wheel. Here we go. We have some owners coming in.
Yeah, that's my son.
Well, right now on the stage we do have Mark Cassie, the trainer of Wonder Wheel, and Tyler Gaffleone, jockey. So we'll get started. I'll start with you first, Tyler. The trip you had aboard her, quite different from the Alcibiades, and just kind of take us through what happened leaving the gate and your entire trip to the wire.
Things didn't really go as planned. We wanted to be a little more forwardly placed. She didn't get away too well. There was a lot of traffic going in that first turn. Everyone's trying to secure their spots. I got kind of pushed back, and she settled nicely going into the backside, got into a good rhythm, and spots just kept opening up when we needed them, and she did everything on her own.
That seemed extremely professional for a young filly, for a 2-year-old who really hadn't found herself in that position before. And we're watching the replay here. I don't know if you realized how close you were to that inside rail to make that move.
Most definitely. Coming into the stretch, approaching the quarter pole, I was real close to it, but she didn't mind it at all. She's full of heart and such a tremendous filly.
Well, now you have your first Breeders' Cup win, and here at Keeneland, a place for a lot of success. How does that feel?
That's amazing. This has become my home. I love coming here every year. It's amazing.
You've had a lot of titles here in Kentucky, but now getting that world championship.
It means the world to me.
All right, Mark, just tell us a little bit about Wonder Wheel. You know, the Alcibiades win, obviously, here over the track, and you've had her here stabled and training for quite a while.
Yeah, I thought, it was important. The way it works, we only got to come in about 5 or 6 days before the Alcibiades, and I thought she looked fine. I thought she could be better. I thought her race in the Alcibiades was good, but I knew that she was going to have to even be better. But I think I've told John the last couple. I said I've seen her. This is the best I've ever seen her train, and I told Tyler before we threw him up. I said, you're sitting on a better horse today than you were a month ago.
You've trained some very good horses, very good fillies, and where does she rank among those?
Well, I've trained some good older fillies. This summer, I was saying she's my next Classic Empire, and where I was putting her, why I was putting her in that category was, he won our first 2-year-old Breeders' Cup. And I thought that she was that good. And I told anybody that would listen. And so it's today's rewarding.
Well, John Green, DJ Stable, joins us now. And John, I know you and your family, Len, your mom, have put so much into this industry. You're great supporters. And now with a filly like Wonder Wheel, just tell us a little bit just what that means to you and your family.
It's an incredible feeling, not only to win a race of this caliber at Keeneland, but to do it with these classy gentlemen. Tyler's been phenomenal for us over the past couple of years. Mark's been training us for us for 3 years now, and we've been in the Breeders' Cup every year. We've had a horse in the Oaks, we've had a horse in the Derby, and I think we got our program rolling to the way that we wanted to. But to win a race like this is beyond compare. You just can't even talk about it.
You won this with Jayhawk previously, so this race has obviously been very kind to you.
Yeah, Jayhawk won it, and again, similar situation where she was third choice, kind of overlooked by a lot of people, which is fine by us. We like being the underdog. We're used to it, quite frankly. And the difference was Jayhawk went gate to wire, and when this filly broke, and then everyone else kind of went in front of her. I'll say it for myself, but I was concerned. I was very concerned. She's a classy filly. She never misses, a day of training, and she's got a great level head. But you still worry about asking a horse at this level to do something completely new. And that's why we employ somebody like Tyler, because he just navigated her right to the rail and through an open hole, and the rest is history.
And Mark, where do you go with her next? What's the plan for the winter?
She's going to go back to our training center in Ocala. That's where she started. We bought her, and then she went down. We broke her, and we're going to sit, and we're going to plan on.
Actually, Mark, we're going to supplement her into the Phasic sale. Since we're right here, we might as well strike while the iron's hot.
We'll talk about that. I'm going to talk to Lois. But so she'll go back there, and we're going to get ready to go and get an Eclipse Award.
That's right. Well, let's see. Anybody here have some questions to ask? Here you go. And just introduce yourself, please.
Tim Wilkin from the Blood Horse. Mark, I heard you the talk over the summer at Saratoga when you were talking about this filly. As a 2-year-old filly, and you were really gushing with the accolades about her. When you do that, are you kind of going out on a limb?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't say it very often, so I kind of put a little pressure on myself, and there was a few times I said, now, why did I do that? But, you know me. You've interviewed me 100 times. I tell you the way I feel, and that's the way I felt. I wasn't holding anything back.
And to follow up, what do you think about her now as you go forward?
I think I have to watch the replay, because it was, when we went to the first turn, I was like, oh boy, this is not good. And I was watching her with my binoculars, and I saw her weaving, and I thought it was her, but I wasn't sure. And I said to my wife, I said, is that her in front? Because, I was acting like it was her. I had a camera right on me. I was like, they'll have a lot of fun if that, but I have to watch the replay. But, 2-year-olds can't do what she did. It's just very difficult to come from out of it. She, on a scale to 1 to 10, 10 being absolute class, she's a 10.
She wins the replay again also, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
I like that. Jenny Reese, Kentucky HBPA, and Tyler, your trainer and your owner were concerned. Were you concerned on the first turn there, or did you not have time to be concerned?
Didn't really have time to think about it. Obviously, it wasn't the position we wanted, but you got to adapt and make the most of it. And she, like I said, she was there for me.
And when Mark told you that this is a better filly than you rode a month ago, and you won the Grade 1 Alcibiades a month ago, what are you thinking?
I was thrilled to hear that. I've been high on this filly since I first sat on her, and she broke her maiden, and she's been all class since then. Last race, I believe I said in the post-race interview that she kind of just got lost, was looking around quite a bit, and today she was all focused.
I got to tell you a quick little story. This is what he thinks of her. So there was some issues. He had previously got booked. He was going to ride at Kentucky Downs, so he wasn't going to get to ride her in the spinaway. And as it turned out, 2 things happened. Very good. I had named Johnny Velasquez on, and they canceled at Kentucky Downs. He called and said, I'll come back. I'll ride her for free. I don't care. I just want to ride her. And I said, if you clear it with Johnny. And so 2 things happened there. That shows you how much he loved her and how classy Johnny Velasquez is, because he got off to let him ride.
One more quick question.
Yeah. It's way premature, but Mark, you're not afraid to run fillies against boys. It's only a few months till we're nominating to the Triple Crown.
I'm sure we'll be nominating, if that's your question. You know me.
Well, congratulations to all of you all. Tyler, congratulations on your first. Many more, I hope, await you. And Wonder Wheel, the champion filly of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies here. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And you got dirty.
Never pulled with any goggles, though.
Yeah, well done, Ryan. Good man.
Is Michael or
I'm not sure.
I
Thought he
got him
might.
outside.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, jump well in that, did she, Ryan?
She did, yeah. But the three inside me all kicked. And
You just let them off and so
Okay, I think we are ready to go, gentlemen. We have Ryan Moore here, who is aboard Meditate, and of course Aidan O'Brien, the trainer. And congratulations, first of all, Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Ryan, I'll start with you. You've been aboard this filly for all but one of her starts, and obviously she's extremely consistent. You just seem like you had a ton of horse the entire way. Take us through the trip.
yeah, she was always very comfortable, and she started well. She's got a lot of pace, but there was a bit of speed inside me that went forward early, and I thought we'd just come back, and the pace steadied once we got round the bend. And I just worked myself out wide, and I was following probably a filly I didn't want to be following, but the pace was slow, so that brought me far enough, and she had them covered very quickly, and the race was over like a furlong and a half out, and I felt she had a lot left, so she was probably just a level above all of them, really.
Yeah, it seemed like as soon as you took her out in the clear, she just exploded down the stretch.
Yeah, she did, and then she waited, so there's hopefully more to come.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. Aidan, I was surprised to find out that this is your first win in the Juvenile Fillies Turf, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. You've had a lot of success in the Breeders' Cup. What made you think that Meditate would be the one for this particular course?
I suppose the last twice she had got beat, Ryan felt that maybe Newmarket might have ran her back a little bit quick after the Curragh, and then at the Curragh it was very bad ground, and Ryan was very happy with her, but I think I might have said to Ryan to ride her a little bit too forward, and we went back to Newmarket quick after the Curragh, and so that probably took us all. So we felt there was excuses maybe the twice that she got beat. We gave her every chance since Newmarket not to come here, but she just kept passing all the tests, and her coat stayed very tight, and she was doing everything right. Marina is in charge of her, and Brett, who rides her every day, Wayne, who rides her work, they're all very happy with her. So, and then speaking to Michael in the last week or 10 days, we were thinking of bringing a filly called Never Ending Story, a filly that ran in France, and Michael just thought that maybe this race would suit this filly better. And I heard Michael discussing it with Ryan before the race, that he felt if she didn't get a mile around here that we wouldn't train her for the Guineas, and obviously what she did, and Ryan rode her very patiently, obviously to ride her to get the trip. I think now we will be training her for the Guineas, I think, so no, delighted really. Like I say, Ryan was very patient. He let her go to sleep the first half of the race because of where she was drawn. He saved all the gas all the way, and no, we were delighted with the result, really. But we always felt that she was a very high-class filly, really.
So do you think the ground over here was definitely something that helped her a lot? She liked the firmer turf course?
I think she's fine on the ground, but Ryan said to me when he came in, he said, listen, we just need to ride her more patiently. And I think probably for me, that's what I would have learned from listening to Ryan after the race and what he felt today. So that's great. So at least we know that she will get a mile, but ride her patiently. Maybe I was giving Ryan the wrong instructions and telling him to be riding her too forward. And I suppose when she went up and tripped, that suited her better. Would that be it, Ryan, really?
She was able to show her class today.
And you'd had so much experience on her, been on her for all but the one race, so you think you learned a lot from her in those races?
We're always learning as we go. Always. Trying to, anyway.
Anybody with some questions?
Definitely a different style of race here. Sorry. Okay. Hi, Matt Hegarty with the Daily Racing Forum. Definitely a different style of race here with a nice win. So can you describe, what her qualities are that allows her to race in this different style and get this much better result at a longer distance, which she didn't appear on paper to be suited for?
Who would you? Yeah, Aidan, go ahead.
Either one. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan. I suppose she's by no name ever who's a big speed influence. It's the first kind of year that we've had them this high quality 2-year-olds by him. We were a little bit worried, were they all going to be real sprinters, or were they going to stay further than 5, 6 or 7? She's out of a Dalakani mare from an Aga Khan pedigree, so we were finding out really, do no name Denver's out of mares stamina, mares stay. So obviously looking at the filly today, we found out that she's going to get a mile as a 3-year-old. She's a very good mover. She's a very good mind. She's relaxes very well, and I think Ryan would have probably always thought that she was a lovely, uncomplicated filly. Would that be it, Ryan?
She is, yeah, absolutely. Very straightforward. Does everything you wanted to do, and I think she's just got an awful lot of class. And I felt she was just a level above these. She was just dominant, really.
Okay. Anyone else?
Eric Mitchell with the Blood Horse. You mentioned No Nay Never, the sire. Do you see any of him in her, and what qualities do you think she's picked up?
Yeah, I suppose this is the first year we had No Nay Nevers of this quality. Obviously, Brown Beard, is it Brown Beard? Blackbeard, like the horse that we were going to run in the sprint that won the Middle Park. He was coming to that, and obviously he got injured. But they have an awful lot of speed. They have great minds. They have good personalities, yeah, they're very exciting horses, really. And seeing this filly do that over a mile even makes them more exciting, really.
All right. Congratulations to all of you, and to Meditate and Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf.
Thanks very much, Jill. Thank you.
lunch? Or you want to sit back?
Good stuff, yeah. Take your mic.
Nah. Can I just wait for my family? Holy shit. Oh, 1 second. Can you get my family for a second, please? Can they stand my family? Because they have no idea where they're going. I need a towel. I don't got a towel. Oh, man. Oh. All right, Jill.
Okay, let's get started. Impressive victory in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile by Forte. And Mike, you've won this race before with Uncle Mo. And this, though, very special being back here in Kentucky. Just tell us a little bit about Forte, your partners on this horse, and where you expect to see him in the future.
You know, first I got to shout out, because I was so focused on Vinny and Teresa, Todd Pletcher, who is the most unbelievable trainer, incredible person. To walk in with my wife and my daughter, and to have Todd walk in with Tracy and his 3 kids, and Rory, obviously, for Vinny and Teresa, was really, really special. And, you know, these trainers have tough jobs, and, you know, what Todd does as far as balancing being the greatest trainer out there, and, you know, great husband, great son. He's got 2 parents alive, and a great his father, JJ, is here, and 3 kids is pretty special. And I wanted to make sure that I think, you know, you guys can hear it here first. I think one day he's going to make the Hall of Fame. I really feel like he's going to make the Hall of Fame. And then I didn't really give Irad the proper shout out. I mean, Irad is an Eclipse Award-winning jockey this year. He's just so good right now. There's such an incredible talented jockey pool, but you almost have Irad here, and then 2 to 12 is like knows a finish. But Irad he's got 5 lengths on the field right now, and so I want to give him a great shout out, and he's been part of this amazing ride and very blessed. And the last one is Vinny and Teresa, Rory, Monique, team St. Elias. You know, it's sad that Vinny and Teresa aren't here. Vinny had surgery on his back. I think people know that, and he's doing well. And they got this little hockey team in Florida that they have to manage, and that it's probably one of the best teams in the league. But having Vinny and Teresa as partners, I mean, it's just extended family. Winning a race with them is always more fun, and Rory does an amazing job for them, just like, you know, Ed Rosen, Jim Martin, Danielle Bricker, and Jake West for me. So we're very, very blessed.
And Todd Pletcher, trainer, and Irad Ortiz, as you mentioned, they're both running in the next race. So that's why, for those of you listening, neither one of them are able to be in here for this press conference. But Mike, additionally with this horse, so I know you're a very good handicapper as well. And going into this race, Cave Rock obviously was going to be the short price favorite. But Forte, having had a race over this track, do you think that gave him a bit of an advantage?
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why we ran here instead of there. Not only did it give him an advantage, the way the race played out, where he was, he had to fight the whole down the wire with that horse, Loggins. I think that really helped him for when he got alongside Cave Rock. You know, listen, Cave Rock's numbers are incredible. You know, but one thing we saw was all, you know, West Coast races. First time he's really shipping across, you know, halfway through the country. And then I would also say, you know, Bafford's amazing trainer, but, you know, he has 4 horses out of 7 in the race. Okay, you go first, you go second, you go third. It's like kind of, you know, they don't go 4 across the track. So whoever owns that one, I thought he would go since he was coming out of 2 6-furlong races. He was 70 to 1. I should buy that guy dinner tonight. So.
And a bottle of wine. Rory, so representing Vinny and Teresa, and I know been partners, you know, with Mike Rapoli and the family for a long time. Just sort of take us through, you know, what their reaction was to this win.
Sure. Needless to say, the phone was ringing off the hook just as the nose was touching the finish line. I couldn't even answer fast enough. It's a special feeling, and it's not even fair to call it a partnership that St. Elias and Rapoli has, because, as Mike, I think, so correctly described, it's extended family. And it's just such a special feeling to be there celebrating it together. And it really is a family feeling. And Vinny and Teresa are so passionate about the sport, have been their whole lives. And to have this happen at the Breeders' Cup, it's a special feeling just to have a horse make the Breeders' Cup. and then to win at Keeneland. We had Liam's Map win here last time, and it's just an absolutely unbelievable feeling. And as Mike described, I mean, it's such a team effort, from the breeder who bred an unbelievable horse, to the team that picks out the horse, to the O'Farrells at Ocala Stud that broke the horse, Todd and his team, IRAD, and then just everything about it. It's a team effort, and it's just so rewarding when it works. And it was an unbelievable field. I mean, and Forte just ran such an unbelievable race, and to beat a field like that, it's an incredible feeling.
I'll turn this over to questions from the press, but additionally now you're the favorite for the Kentucky Derby at this point in time and for the year-end championship. So anybody with a question for Mike Rapoli and connections here of Forte?
Yeah, Neil Maurice from the Press Association in England. Mike, Forte means strength, and that colt certainly showed it in abundance today to pick up the way he did. Is that, I'm not familiar with him, I'm English, but is that his racing style?
You know, Todd, when he part of the team picked him out, and Todd was very involved. He looks like Violence, big horse, and you know, Vinny and I and Teresa have had some good luck with some Italian names like Vino Rosso. He did okay, and Forte meeting strong, and you know, I got my little pod of cup of espresso says Forte. It's the Forte brand, so I have that too. So I'm gonna have one of these right after the race, and but yeah, strong, and it's just you know, just a strong word, Forte, and it's a great name, but when it's given to a great horse, it becomes a great name. You've had enough of the press, seriously. That's the stop. Thank you. All right. But you have to go there. You can't talk.
Okay, quickly, so we can let them go get some champagne.
Mike, the fractions were remarkably similar to the last race here, other than the half, but I think the quarter and three-quarter were the same. Did you see similarities in the way the race was run beyond just the clock?
You know, I mean, if you look at the first couple races on the dirt, you would think it was just speed favoring. And I don't know what they did when they went to turf. I don't know if they, you know, they went over it, whatever, but the way the horse that won the race actually was on the lead wire to wire, came from way back. But she did stay on the rail the whole time. Irad knew that the 1 and the 3 would probably go out, and he was going to get to the rail. He got to the rail. Looked like he wanted to get out earlier, and he couldn't. But, you know, Forte did that last time, and again, that's where Irad is Irad. You know, some jockeys would just try to make a 6-wide move, and he's going to sit there. But you know what? The horse has to let him sit there, and the experience that he got in the Sanford when he got behind horses and couldn't get through, the hopeful when he came up the rail, and his last race here where he kind of went 4 wide, this horse has been winning in, honestly, 1.25 mile performance, and it looks like he's just going to get better and better and better.
Where do you go from here?
2-year-old championships, Eclipse Awards, Palm Beach, wherever they're having it this year. And, you know, listen, it started here for me. You know, 12 years ago, I won a little race here called the Breeders' Cup with Juvenile with Uncle Mo, and I think that's the first time people heard of Rapoli Stable. And you know, I love racing, and I used to bring my grandmother to the track. She passed away about 2.5 years ago, and she used to always have the Rapoli Stable hat and come down to the winner's circle. And she passed away about 2 years ago, and 7 years ago, I got this. What's your name again?
Joya.
Joya. I got my daughter Joya, and now. You know, my grandmother had a big personality, and I think I have a little bit of a big personality, but she's right behind both of us. I wanted to grow my wife's personality. I only got half of it. But now to have, you know, kind of goes full circle from Uncle Mo to Forte to my 93-year-old grandmother who passed away to my 7-year-old daughter, Joya. So, you know, listen, it's been, I don't even know. It's hard for me to express, like, what, since the Belmont Stakes, what's happening. I mean, my whole family thinks you just show up and you win a grade 1, and that's normal. I mean, I think it's 8 now, 8 grade 1 since June. I mean, people don't win 8 grade 1s in their lifetime. People don't win 8 grade 1s ever, and it's just, I'm not fooled about how blessed I am that this is happening, and I don't see how this could ever happen again. I'm just being honest with you, even though I did buy 100 yearlings, but that's another story.
Well, congratulations, Forte winners of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Congratulations, Mike Rapoli, St. Elias Stables, and all the connections.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Roy. Sorry.
Yeah, it could be a while.
Ryan Moore, congratulations, the juvenile turf with Victoria Road. So let's just start a little bit, kind of at the end. It looked like Silver Knot actually got in front of you at one point. Did that kind of give your horse a little bit of extra push to the finish, seeing the other horse in front of him?
Yeah, my horse, he was in a nice spot, and the pace steadied again down the back straight, and there's a lot of traffic coming into the lane. I thought I would try to get out. Mike was going out, and I was thinking to follow him, and there wasn't much room, but there was enough of a gap, and my horse showed a really good attitude, and he quickened, and he got through. And then I think when he just done that, he shut down a little bit, and just drifted out into the middle of the track slightly, and he left the door open for the runner-up. I felt he was coming to get me, but my horse did respond, or maybe the other horse peaked on his run slightly, but I thought on the line he had won, and when the outrider was saying, "Oh, it's close," I was like, oh. I was pretty sure he'd held on, but he's got better all through the year. He's won his last 4 now, and he's already won over a little further, but he's a handy horse who travels well, got plenty of pace, he's very comfortable, and he's out of a very fast mare, but Saxon Warrior's deep impact, and you'd like to think really he's going to be more of a 3-year-old than a 2-year-old.
So you think he can really improve from this and heading into next year as a 3-year-old for the classics over there?
Yeah, we'd like to think so. I think that's what we'd be expecting of him.
Okay. Questions?
Ryan, can you compare your last 2 mounts on him to like earlier when you rode him? Like you talked about that improvement. What did you see?
Yeah, I rode him twice over 6 furlongs at the Curragh, and then in a sales race against some very fast horses, but he showed good speed to follow them, and he just, when you're asking a horse just, over 6 furlongs and he's in top gear the whole way, they can't show that turn of foot then, because they're already in the high gear. But as he's gone up in trip, he's got better, and he won in Goran, and then he won a listed race in Deauville, beating a very good Churchill filly that come out and won the Boussac, and he put a good performance over 9 in Chantilly, picking up well late on. So he's an adaptable horse. He's a very handy horse. He's a very sound horse, and he's got a great attitude, clean-winded. He's very straightforward that way.
Yeah, this is his 8th start. That's a lot for a 2-year-old, and especially as much traveling as he's done all around the world now. You mentioned, how handy he is, so didn't really see a question, in a field like this with these tight American turns.
No. He's such a straightforward horse, and he's got a good mind, and he's got a good action, and so he's very comfortable in these tight turning tracks.
And this race you've won 5 times now. This one been very successful for you, and teaming up again.
Used to be.
Well, welcome back to it. And teaming up with this group, with the Coolmore group and Aidan, and you all have had so much success. Just tell us a little bit about kind of that the relationship you have with all this group.
No, I've been very fortunate to ride for Aidan for a long, long time now, and I'm very privileged. They produce, I think, the best horses in the world, really, and you can't do it without the horses. Doesn't matter how good a jockey or trainer you are, you need the horses, and that's what it's about. And we're fortunate, real strong team this year. 2-year-olds look good, and Aidan's had them spot on all year.
It sounds like we have some more of the team maybe making it in here. Anybody else with a specific question for Ryan as Aidan makes his way in? Congratulations again. All right, we'll get started quickly with Aidan. Aidan O'Brien now joining us, and Aidan, congratulations, a double for all the connections today. In Victoria Road, we were just talking with Ryan about, he was saying what a handy horse he is, and now this being his 8th start of the year, he must be a pretty tough colt.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he is. Colin rides him every day at home, does a great job on him, Colin O'Donoghue. We thought he was precocious. He's a nice size horse. He's made like a very fast horse. We ran him over 5 and 6 early, and we were disappointed that he was getting beat. Obviously, he's by Saxon Warrior, so he's very fast on the dam side, and obviously the class and the stamina is coming from Saxon Warrior. Ryan started to take his time on him. We were riding him forward over 5 and 6, and when he did, he said that was the way to ride him. And obviously he won, I think, his last 3. When Ryan would on him the last day in Shanty, he took his time again. Came from a long ways back, which is a difficult thing to do. And Ryan said to me after that he thought that he was our French Derby horse, so for next year. So he's a very exciting horse. He's not big. He's well balanced. Ryan had him in a lovely spot today. He took his time on him, and he said he was going to produce him late, but I didn't realise he was going to produce him that late. So, no, delighted really.
And we Ryan kind of took us through the race a little bit, and it looked like Silver Knot got a head or neck in front of him. And is that kind of this horse when he feels that competition, he battles like that?
I think so. Ryan just said when he came in, he just felt when he got there he waited a little bit. I think he said he got a split down through him. Is that what you thought, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take it on from there.
No, yeah, quick and through him, and then just had the race won but waited.
Yeah.
Okay, some questions. Anybody with questions for Aiden specifically? Okay, here.
Yes. Frank Angst, Blood Horse. Aiden, when did you start thinking Breeders' Cup could be a good fit for this horse?
Yeah, we thought, I suppose, when his form changed from he was after getting beat a few times early, and then when he stepped up in trip and looked like he was going to get 7 furlongs, and then when he got 7 furlongs, he looked like he was going to get a mile, and he won over 9 furlongs the last time. So he's a horse that had pace to run over 5 and 6, no problem. And when you have that type of horse that relaxes the way he does and gets that type of trip, we thought it was going to suit him well.
And then as busy as he's been racing from the start, he did get a little bit of break ahead of this race. What went into that?
Yeah, sure. I suppose when he won the last time in Shanty, that's what we were thinking. We weren't going to run him again at Augustus Rodan in Doncaster in the Futurity. So we were trying to split them up, and we thought that this race would suit him. That we were hoping that we get nice ground, and I suppose that's what we were thinking, and he had plenty of experience. Pleasure.
Anyone else?
One more.
Okay.
Aiden, Marcus Hirsch from the Daily Racing Form. So this is the 3rd Keeneland Breeders' Cup, and you've had the last 2 were great. Maybe all your horses seem to run well, and already you have 2 winners for the meeting. Now, is there something about? Is it easier for you to run in Kentucky maybe than the West Coast?
I'm not sure about that. I think obviously the lads at home and everybody have the horses in great shape at the moment, and obviously Ryan is riding absolutely brilliant. So all those things are big factors. And obviously we have very well bred, unbelievable individuals, horses. So when all those factors come together, it is always very possible. But the horses had ran very consistent through the season this year, and the 2-year-olds especially, and they had been improving from run to run. So I suppose for that to happen, it makes a lot of stuff has to be right. And but like I say, Ryan is riding brilliant.
How many can we expect tomorrow then? After today?
We were hoping come here that we might have a winner, and yeah, exactly. So listen, that's the truth. We never expect to have a winner. We do our best to have them right, and as right as we can have, but then accept the result. And so we know how difficult it is to win Breeders' Cup races. We've come many years and not have any winners. So we're very grateful to have 2 winners today.
Well done.
Appreciate it, Marcus. Thanks very much.
All right, congratulations to all the connections.
Thanks.
Victoria Road, the Juvenile Turf, and we will see everyone tomorrow for
you, Jen.
Breeders' Cup Championship Day 2.
Thank you, Jen. Brian, thanks again. Yeah.